Thanks for tuning in to Rewind the Movies. We're going to do something a little bit different this week, and we're specifically going to look at a video nasty. Myself, Prog and Adam sat down and watched Cannibal Holocaust. Now, those familiar with the film will know that it was banned for a long time in the UK, and there's still certain scenes that are still not allowed within the UK version. We sat down, we watched the film, so you'll get some of our reaction, and then we had a discussion afterwards of what we thought of the film and whether a wider audience would like it. We had some technical issues, mainly the sound, so I apologise now. Please bear with it. We do believe it's an insightful episode, and as always, there's a bit of humour. Before we get into the main part of the video, please subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow. Please hit the like button as well. Anyway, here's the main video. And it's Cannibal Holocaust. Yep. I've never heard of the film before. You picked it. Give us some background to it.
It's what people call a Mondo film by Ruggero Deodato, an Italian film director. It's very controversial. I would say to anyone watching that the more blind you go into this, the better. It's a pretty bleak film. It's usually coined as being one of the first ever found footage films.
Are we talking found footage like Blair Witch?
Yeah.
So when it first came out, the director had the actual actors in hiding to cultivate this perception that they had actually died while making the film.
Oh, right.
But he had to bring them out of hiding when he was accused of murder and manslaughter.
Yeah, he was put into Italian court, and because the special effects are very realistic, and they had to prove that the film was fake. People thought it was so genuine. We're watching the uncut version of it. They had to get imported from Denmark. The uncut version has never been released in this country to this day. There are still scenes from this film. I'm not going to say what those scenes are, but you'll know what they are when they come up. This was probably the head honcho video nasty. The poster for this, where there's we can maybe flash a poster up on the screen. That was always used on the video nasties are bad.
Alright, come on now. Let's do this.
This music is so, I don't know, it just makes me think of horrible things happening whenever I hear it.
It's not in keeping with the film, is it?
No.
See, if I was in the cinema now watching this, I think, it's going to be quite a light-hearted movie.
Right now.
Get warm feelings from it.
Right now it's like we're watching Wild at Heart on ITV on a Sunday night. But
the TV programme, not the film.
No, the one with Amanda Holden in it. Not the David Lynch one.
In there, the more you carry, the quicker you get tired, the sooner you die. That's Miguel. Hurry up, I'm hungry. Huh?
What is that?
Oh, yeah. What? They just kill it on camera?
Yeah.
Me.
That's fucking horrible.
That's grim. Oh.
Just
there's something and he will.
I feel dirty watching this. I love none of these blocks are stopping this.
I mean, there's only one of it, and they all got guns.
Oh, mate.
So he just stuffed all that mud and sticks up back. Well, no, the stone going up there was fairly realistic the way they filmed it.
Just feels as if they could have done this 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. They just let a woman die.
No, for no reason at all.
They could have saved her. We're looking for the naughty,
Cannibal tribe.
Yeah, the noshing on human flesh tribe. What does everyone think about this score so far? Good or bad?
I don't like it.
It's creepy as fuck, isn't it?
Yeah.
He is a good composer with sorts of that.
What I quite like about it so far is that it's not overall, is it? It's not constant.
He is one of the more famous composers. That just looks terrifying.
Well, the fact it's slicing that one person open window.
Living the dream there, but.
I bet someone watched this and thought, I need to put the Amazon.
We're going. Look at him, buddy. He's on the time of his life today. What I'm thinking about rewatching this now, though, is I thought this was much more of a documentary than it actually is.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is, how dumb were Italy back then thinking this was real?
This is where the real film begins, then, was it?
Would be the ideal host.
No, but it takes about 8 hours to get there, though, doesn't it?
Professor Monroe.
Jesus. Fucking Screech from Saved by the Bell, isn't it?
This shot started
one of your brothers from another mother.
My grand used to say it was my Screech.
Did she actually? Did you have the curly hair when you were younger?
Yeah, did I?
Did you actually?
Oh my my grand.
Did you think she was complimenting you at the time as well?
Yeah, there's no electricity where we're going.
Oh my god.
I would never.
This is nowhere near as bad as I remember it being.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty grim. It's been grim. They killed a muscat.
For me, that's the worst part.
Just above the lens, like a gun barrel.
I don't think I've seen this scene.
I remember watching this when I was in college, when I first saw the uncut version of it.
Oh, that's horrendous.
Yeah. It gets worse, but...
Can I just say one thing? Compared to the muscat,
It gets worse, but...
that is dead now.
Yeah, no, that's it for me. It was his leg going. And because you know it's real, the muscat was worse, I think. He's like,
Yeah, I'm getting shanked.
Do you know that one there is that's even more controversial because that's the second monkey they killed because they did a second take. So that they killed one of the monkeys for no reason.
oh, a blade though, it went straight through his head, didn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's up in it, man. I read about this before we watched it and apparently the way the crew defended it was that they actually were eating the animals on set. So they were like, well, we didn't kill them for no reason, we all ate it. So...
But what I don't understand with these as characters in the film though is, because I don't think it's been portrayed properly, is have they lost their shit because they've just gone mad from being in the jungle?
No, I think...
Or were they always like...
No, it's because they did the last road to hell, didn't they? And they said, oh, Alan always gets what he wants, and he said that Alan Yates, the director with the camera, he's the one, he's making it all more to get better footage.
Christ, man.
Oh man.
So her boyfriend's just filming it now?
Yeah, this is
No, the boyfriend is about to...
No, that's not her boyfriend.
that's the blonde guy.
That's the
No,
blonde
no,
guy.
no, there's the boyfriend.
Man.
There's all three of them are bad there.
Really?
Yeah. That's why she's going ballistic as well as... That must be quite difficult to do. Like,
Come
if
on,
you're
come on,
still, hold still, and you ram it up your arse and make your mouth, and then you put it in the ground.
Bad.
Or sit on this...
I don't think they're that... if they were actually intent on killing it with that, I don't think they'd be that bothered with how it went in and came out.
What I will say, though the fake violence in this, I'm surprised at how... To me, it doesn't seem that realistic anymore. But when I was younger, I thought some of this was real. It freaked me out when I was younger.
Yeah. I think back in the day, what would have helped is that the animal violence was real.
Yeah.
So maybe they thought... So that's why they thought the rest of it was real. It's just nowhere near what I remember it being.
That was bleak as
I thought it was going to be more nasty.
What? I thought that was extreme video nasty, personally. Horrible.
I didn't think that was half as bad as some of the stuff I've seen lately.
That was a pretty bad film. It was quite realistic.
I'm in no way saying that back in the day when that came out.
Yeah.
And certainly when I first watched it, which would have been the mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
Like there's hardly anything like that.
But
I'd say in the last 20 years, horror films gone way further than that.
I personally thought that was a pretty strong horror film, man.
Yeah, but I think you're attributing that to the actual animal violence.
Like the things were like his missus was dragged off and like the rape scenes and stuff.
But I didn't think that was
horrible.
I didn't think that was intense.
And when they set the huts on fire with all the tribespeople in it, that's minging.
I don't want to get into it like compare rape scenes.
No, I want to, not even just the rape, like the murder for no reason.
They weren't intense for me.
That was still a grim film. I watched that, I was like, that to me is like the epitome of a video nasty. That's one of the more hardcore video nasties.
Yeah, no, I get that. And it comes down to when that came out.
Like
people are less sensitized to it.
That's the same age rating and a video nasty, much like Texas Chainsaw Massacre was. That's worse than Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I don't think much of Texas Chainsaw Massacre anymore. I'm not saying Texas Chainsaw Massacre isn't a good film. I'm saying the horror or brutality of Texas Chainsaw Massacre pales in comparison to films of the last 10-15 years. Okay, that's a good question. Why do you find that horrifying?
I think that's horrifying because similar things have happened in real life to that. That's, to me, is scarier than like Halloween. Halloween is like more, I don't know, is more gimmicky in it. Like Michael Myers is just like
Yeah, but
He's a
that's
mascot,
not,
isn't he?
that's not to say that people haven't been slaughtered by a mass murderer. Because
Yeah.
people have.
But
So
like-
why would that?
Yeah, but there are films about mass murderers that are worse, like Maniac and stuff, like because they're more realistic. Also, that film was just f***ing grim to watch as well. I want to shower. I don't think I'm going to watch that film again, ever, or for a super long time.
Yeah, I'm done with that film. I don't know. I think it goes back to the films of that type, of that time as well. The acting's a little bit off.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think certain things don't allow you to be pulled into the film, do they?
And the killing of the muskrat and the turtle are the worst things for me in it, because you know that it's real and you know that it actually happened. Whereas where the tribes people are hacking the bodies apart, well, they're like, it's like, I want to see it properly.
Yeah.
Like when the monkey's head came off, you're like, "F- me, that was real."
I get where he's coming from, and I'm along the same lines. I think because you see the actual animals dying,
Yeah.
and you know it's real.
Yeah, but
When you see a human death
Yeah.
in the film,
yeah,
you know it's not real. So it does. There's no way you can be as impacted by it. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good though. You're saying you were tense watching that.
no, I was intense, disturbed.
Okay.
I was never like, oh.
But that's good
Watching
though,
it.
because you haven't watched that for years,
It was,
and you still felt
yeah, but it's more
that
like
way.
there's a grimness and a bleakness to it. But also, my argument for that being a horror film is that like that f***ed a lot of people look back. People watched that thinking it was real back in the day, and that they left the cinema disturbed and traumatized by
and
it.
I can definitely understand that. Although I had, there's no effect on me from that film now. Again, coming down to
You know, some,
being desensitized to a lot of these films. But go back in the day where people may not have seen, well, they wouldn't have seen shit like that before, and you think, that looked like a documentary, was it real? And it's posing that question, isn't it? So I never come away from Rewind the Movies thinking that was a waste of my time. But like you, I won't watch that again.
You know when we were talking it to Evan
yeah,
about watching it, sitting down and watching it with him and Evan,
yeah.
and in my head I was like, oh, he's gonna hate it. He's not gonna like that. So I think Ev could sit through that.
Yeah.
That's as bad as I remember. That film is as bad as I remember, straight up.
I was expecting it to be a lot grimmer, like you said, you built it up. And then you said, it's a film of two halves. I said, the second half, now we're going to get going.
Yeah.
And it just didn't for me.
The violence is clearly fake and the acting's terrible and it's hammy, but it still holds up in that it's just disturbing to watch. It's just like, oh man. I think part of the impact of Cannibal Holocaust is that it came out at a time where people had never seen anything like that before.
And that's all.
You did have films like Mondo Cane and stuff that came before it, which were a mix of documentary and real stuff, and they were Italian films and they were kind of semi-real. I think that's the first one that was just like straight up horror, fake violence, horror sort of thing. Shock film,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
I still think it's good that it's held up for you.
It has and it hasn't though, like because there are some bits.
No, but it's had an effect though, isn't it?
I'm gonna sleep okay tonight. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
while watching now is a bit like I'm not gonna go 3 days with being disturbed at that. But
I'm not going to say if it's good or bad. I will say I will never watch it again, and I don't know if I would recommend it to anyone.
would you recommend it to anyone?
I wouldn't recommend it unless someone said, like you said earlier, have you seen Cannibal Holocaust? I've heard it's amazing. I heard this and this happens, and I'd say to them, watch it and then have an opinion on it.
I would recommend that to someone who was a fan of Italian horror and giallo films.
That's fair.
Oh god, that fucking gross. Oh.
Right, on that note, I'm gonna head home.
Do you want to? We could do a special and talk about the video nasties.
Hi guys, thanks for watching. If you want us to do another reaction to a video nasty, please let us know. Even suggest a movie, that would be great. Hit it in the comments down below. But finally, don't forget to subscribe and please hit the like button. Cheers all.